Y'all want to watch Apple's biggest product placement movie? It's called iHostage. It's also based on a true story. Meet Ilyan Petrov, a Bulgarian immigrant just arriving in Amsterdam with big dreams and even bigger struggles. Married, broke ass, destitute, and dealing with a heart condition, his life is already far from easy. Today, he's just trying to replace his misplaced AirPods at a busy Apple store. The store is fully packed with people. A woman looking like the Temu Angelina Jolie gets told by her daughter not to act like a Karen. One guy, Amar Ajara, stands out. He looks suspicious and carries a bag, ignoring the staff's complaint about bags in the store. Petrov finishes paying for his new AirPods. But when he is about to leave, Amar takes out a gun and yells that everyone get on the floor. Immediately, panic sets in, and everyone inside gets on their heels looking for a way out. But only a few manage to escape. The cops outside hear the commotion, and there's a fine, blue-eyed cop named Matthijs. He can get it. They notify their headquarters immediately. Some customers make it upstairs while others hide in a room with the staff. Mingus. What kind of name is Mingus? Rhymes with dingus. But Petrov is so unlucky, he hides behind a table and is spotted by Amar. Heart racing, he surrenders on the floor and almost wets himself when Amar points a gun at him. He is cuffed and used as a hostage. At the glass doors, Amar exposes his vest, revealing explosives strapped to his body. The cops outside freeze, and just like that, the situation escalates. Winston from the DSI, the elite response team, is called, deployed to take control of the crisis with his comrades. All police units storm the area around the Apple store, blocking all access to the road. That's when the police general commander, Keys, is notified of the situation. Back at the store, Amar tells the cops trapped outside that he needs a negotiator or he will blow the place up. He then dials 911 and tells them the same thing to show that he means business. Mingus finds a way to get in touch with the cops, and he tells them everything. Outside, some police officers drive close to the Apple store to rescue their trapped comrades. Yes, you have to save the fine man. They see Amar holding a gun to Petrov's head and drive away slowly while shielding their colleagues. Commander Keys soon arrives at HQ and officially takes command of the operation. He immediately orders negotiators to be brought in. The DSI team, now on the ground, begins clearing nearby buildings, evacuating civilians, while snipers assume strategic positions, ready for a clean shot if the opportunity arises. By evening, Commander Keys requests the store's architectural blueprints from Apple, laying the groundwork for a stealth entry plan that could end the standoff if everything goes just right. One of the negotiators, Lynn, arrives at HQ and promises Commander Keys that she'll get Amar out of the store. She joins her colleagues, Wilco and Rochelle, to assume their station. Back at the store, Petrov complains that he needs his PrEP medication. That's when Lynn's call comes in. Amar picks up, but ends it when he confirms she's the negotiator. He feeds Petrov his medication, and then calls Lynn to make his demands. On the call, he walks closer to a door, and those hiding behind it shiver in fear. Luckily for them, it's locked. Amar demands about $200 million in Bitcoin and a free passage out of the city. But he gets angry when Lynn says it's a huge sum. He hangs up after threatening to blow up the store again. The Temu Timothy Chalamet, hiding with Mingus, hears this and regrets why he visited the store. Meanwhile, Petrov asks Amar how much money he wants. Amar says he wants enough to pay for everything the government has done to him. He yells that he has been effed multiple times by the justice system, and the government ruined his life, like increasing tariffs on iPhones. Girl, same. Petrov becomes terrified while he speaks, but fakes a smile to take a selfie with Amar for the police. Commander Keys gets the picture and asks his team to identify the explosive strapped to Amar's chest. The DSI boss, Abe, calls one of his men to take a look. The soldier says the bomb looks fake, but he will need a closer look just to be sure. Abe meets Winston and speaks of a plan to rescue the hostages. Mark, another police officer, arrives at the crime scene and calls Mingus. He asks about the hostage situation and learns that the music and lights in the store will go off soon. If that happens, the alarm will go off too, and it will be a problem. After the call, Mark calls HQ and tells them to contact Apple to prevent the alarms from going off. Lynn calls Amar again and informs him about the store's security systems. She tells him to stay calm, but Amar feels like the police will try something funny. Around 9 p.m., the lights go off and come back on again, without the alarms going off. He thinks Lynn lied about the alarms and ends the call before she can speak. Lynn complains to Commander Keys and learns that Apple altered the security systems and has transferred their CCTV camera access to the police. She heads back to her station and calls Amar again to try and earn his trust. On the call, Amar says he wants his money and a secure escape route in a luxury car. He adds that he will only release Petrov when he has escaped. Back at HQ, Keys receives info about a fool who uploaded the hostage situation on social media. Immediately, he tells Abe, who then realizes that Ammar might know that there are more hostages if he sees the post. He agrees to mobilize his men immediately. Mark calls Mingus again and asks for directions to the store's blind spot. After he gets it, it's sent to the DSI team, and their stealth mission begins. They sneak into the Apple store via a blind spot and release the hostages upstairs. Back at HQ, Commander Keyes learns that the would-be influencer behind the post has refused to take it down. In anger, he dials her number and curses, threatening to have her arrested if the post isn't taken down. Meanwhile, Lynn continues talking to Ammar on a call to keep him distracted while the DSI team sneaks into the Apple store. When asked about what angered him, Ammar states that the country has subjected him to injustice multiple times. Federal prosecutors, the police, and the law have ruined his life. He was abused, handcuffed, and unlawfully locked up in a cell. He then adds that the government needs to pay for their sins by giving him the money. The conversation takes a turn when Lynn says that she cares about him. That's when he softens up a bit and mentions his name. The police run his name through their database and realize that he is Syrian, although born in Amsterdam. He was involved in a few misdemeanors in the past and was sent back to Syria as a child. He also suffers from psychiatric problems and has been in and out of mental facilities. Back on the call, Lynn thanks Ammar for being kind to Petrov. The DSI team makes it into the building, and Ammar seems suspicious. He tries tracing a sound he hears from upstairs, but the DSI team maintains stealth and secures the hostages. Winston leads the way out of the building, and Ammar ends the call with Lynn. Keyes at HQ is relieved that the hostages are secure, while Mark calls Mingus and thanks him for the help. He then promises to get him out ASAP. Back inside the store, a call comes in for Petrov. It's his wife. Ammar offers to get the phone, but Petrov is too terrified to answer, so he ignores it. He opens up and tells Ammar that his wife wants him to buy a house, but he is broke, which is why he is in Amsterdam to work. He loves her and is willing to do whatever it takes to make her happy. He then asks Ammar if anyone cares about him, and he bluntly says no. Petrov tries to talk Ammar out of his bad intentions, but he doesn't care. He believes that with the cash, he can change his future and the fate of anyone in his situation. He also makes it clear that he is ready to lose his life and bomb the place if the government refuses to pay him. After that, he goes to get coffee, and the machine is close to Mingus's position. Mingus tries to remain calm, but a woman, Bente, breathes heavily. He and another hostage try to calm her down, but the pain in her chest worsens. Panic sets in when Ammar stands close to the door. Mingus calls Mark and tells him about the woman's condition. Her consciousness fades, and Mark calls a doctor to find out what might be wrong. That's when Lynn calls Ammar again, and he walks away from the coffee maker, allowing Mingus to talk freely with Mark. Mingus tells Mark about Bente's symptoms, and a doctor confirms that she is having a panic attack. Bente is a bit relieved when she hears this, since she thought it was a heart attack. While Ammar is distracted on a call, a sniper spots an opening and tries to take a shot, but Ammar sees laser on his chest just in time and dives for cover. Furious, he screams at Lynn over the phone, threatening to shoot Petrov in retaliation for the snipers. Desperate to calm him down, Lynn tries once again to earn Ammar's trust, but it backfires spectacularly. Ammar cuts the call short, demanding that only a male negotiator contact him from now on. Oh, he's a misogynist too. A few minutes later, Lynn figures out a way to get through to Ammar, but her team feels it's a bad idea to call him again. Wilco argues that she's lost Ammar's trust, and he will be the best fit for the job. Rochelle agrees with him, saying that Ammar is dangerous and unpredictable. Finally, Wilco calls Ammar and says that he is trying to get the money ready. He strikes a nerve when he makes a careless comment, causing Ammar to start a countdown to detonate the bomb. But thanks to a suggestion from Lynn, Wilco asks what car he wants, and he says a limo and stops the countdown. Wilco is left shocked at the offer, but nothing surprises Lynn anymore because Ammar is definitely a mentally unstable incel redditor. Meanwhile, Petrov grows pale and asks for water. Ammar offers an energy drink, but Petrov declines. He needs water to stabilize his heart. When Ammar hesitates, Petrov curses the shit out of him for requesting a limo as a getaway car. He asks for water again and tells Ammar to shoot him if he refuses. That's when Ammar asks Wilco for some water. After the call, he tells Petrov to zip it. The police officers receive Ammar's request and send a robot to deliver water at the store's entrance. After the water is delivered, Wilco takes Petrov to the entrance to get it. Tension increases as all DSI officers aim their guns at Ammar. While Petrov tries to reach for the bag, he struggles, and Ammar turns to carry it himself. At that moment, Petrov seizes the opportunity to run for his life. Ammar tries chasing him, but he gets run over by Winston's car. Just like that, Ammar is neutralized, and the DSI team forms a perimeter around him to disarm the bomb. Petrov is secured by the DSI, and the remaining hostages are rescued too. Mark thanks Mingus for the help, and Mingus hugs him for keeping his word. Meanwhile, Lynn watches the scene unfold, her face heavy with sadness over how it ended. Commander Keyes quietly reassures her that she did everything she could, and she did a good job. The following morning, Keyes checks out the crime scene while Winston is happy that he gets to see his family again. As for Petrov, he is released from police custody and breaks down in tears in his hotel room. Man better get some monetary compensation for all that stress. What did you guys think of this one? It's been trending on Netflix.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.